Hi, I'm Lara.
I'm Brock.
And welcome to TEFL Talk.
Well, I think that TEFL Talk went pretty well, didn't you?
Yeah, I think it went pretty well. What do you think we should do for the next episode?
Well, I don't know. I was thinking about that. The next one up is student-centered teaching, but we've already done one about that. Maybe it would be good to have a little bit more variety. What do you think?
Good point. How about one on dialogues?
That'd be a good idea. It's really an essential teaching tool. I'll ask Jenny what she thinks about it.
Yeah, great. You know what? Ask John too.
Okay, that's a good idea. I'll be here tomorrow. I can talk to both of them.
Great. Thanks for your help.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for your help.
Hey, Brock, thank you so much for agreeing to help me out with this. I think this dialogue is going to be good.
No, it'll be good. You're creating it.
So I was thinking about logistics. I don't want this to be too long. I don't think anyone wants to hear us drone on and on about dialogues.
Good insight. It's nothing worse than a dialogue that goes on for pages. I think somewhere between 10 and 6 lines is fine.
I was thinking like 6 to 8. Is that?
Sure,
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay.
There's only so much that students can focus on at once, so it's shorter is better.
Yeah. I know we would tell other teachers to make it relevant, so I want to make sure I make it relevant.
Yeah, it should be something that reflects the language that students might actually use, and it needs to be the appropriate formality, not too informal, not too slangy, obviously.
Yeah. The gentleman doth make a good point.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that, okay?
Touché, fine, sir. So I'm going to have speaker A start, I think. So speaker A is...
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes, please do.
It's good to give names. It's just a lot easier to figure out who's talking when you're reading the dialogue.
Okay. Speaker A, Brock.
Okay.
Speaker B, Lara. I'm just randomly generating these names.
Yeah, no, if you picked them out of the blue, that's really great. I like that creativity.
So I'm also going to make sure I keep each term pretty short.
Yeah.
I'll be mindful of proficiency.
Good,
I don't want to make this too easy, but I don't want it to be too hard either.
No, but if you do have opportunities to bring in idioms or common expressions, that's not a bad thing. It kind of gives students a bit of empowerment to know that they can use the language that native speakers do.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So use idioms. So I'm going to work in cats have 9 lives.
You could do that.
Anything else?
No, I think that's it in terms of dialogue creation, but you may want to think a little bit about how you're going to do it in the class, how you're going to exploit it so that you get maximum value.
Okay. Can you help me out with that?
Sure. One of the first things to do is to activate student background knowledge. You can ask them some questions about the topic. If you're doing a grammar feature or a language function, you can ask them questions about that and see if they can answer.
Okay.
So that they're kind of set up for what's supposed to come next.
Got it, yeah.
The other thing you want to do is not to miss the opportunity of using a dialogue for listening comprehension.
Right.
So before you hand out copies to everybody, you want to read it a couple of times and see if they can tell you what it's about.
So read it out loud before you give it to them so I see.
Yeah.
Makes
If
sense.
you give it to them and then read it aloud, they'll just be reading.
Gotcha. Okay.
The other thing is it's important to pay attention to vocabulary and help them notice new vocabulary, what might be new vocabulary to them, and not to neglect pronunciation.
Right.
And a good way to do pronunciation with a dialogue is have students get into pairs and they each take a role and they read to each other. And you can listen closely and find out where you need to make corrections.
Excellent. Okay. I think these are great tips. I'm going to need a few minutes. And if
Okay.
you're open to it, maybe we can practice and you can tell me what you think.
Okay, that's fine. I'll just sit here and drink coffee.
Okay, perfect. All right, Brock, hot off the printer.
For me, thank you.
So I was thinking you can play Brock. I'll play Lara.
It's funny how that worked out. Okay.
So you're up first.
Oh, I am, aren't I? Okay. Well, I think that TEFL talk came out okay, don't you?
Yeah, I did. What should we do for next session?
Well, the next thing up on the list is student-centered teaching, but we already did a video that kind of introduced that. Maybe since we're still in the pilot stage, we should do something a little bit different, give a little bit more diversity.
How about one on dialogues?
That's a good idea. That's practical, and it's something that teachers really need. I'll ask Jenny what she thinks about it.
Yes, that's a good idea. And how about checking with Joan as well?
Sure. I'll be in tomorrow, so I'll see both of them.
Great. And if they agree, maybe we can sit down together and talk about how to get started?
Sure. Makes perfect sense to me.
I'll do some thinking tonight, and I'll come up with some questions for you.
Okay. And I'll try to come up with some answers.
Great. Thanks for the help.
Anytime. But doesn't this seem oddly familiar?
Thanks for watching TEFL Talk. If you want updates on new episodes, be sure to subscribe.
Do you have a great idea for a show topic?
Or maybe you just want to say hey. Either way, we would love to hear from you.
Whether you're joining us from Morocco or Ecuador,
Or Mozambique or Ukraine.
just leave us a comment and let us know. Thank you very much.